Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to a brand new video. This video is gonna be kind of in pictures, to the best of my ability, my autism story, or what is autism. So let's get into it. So we'll say this is me, right? I'm over here, and I was 16 when I was diagnosed, right? And so I'm just a teenager living my best life, not knowing anything different. But before I get too into it, I just want to say that autism does affect more boys than it does girls. Why is that? We do not know. But that's just what they've always said. We don't know if that's necessarily true per se, but it just happens. Now I don't know if I would necessarily say that it is true or it's not true. But it's just something that happens. So kind of to back up real quick. My parents kind of knew something was up when I was little. So I don't really fully know how young I was when they knew something was up. All I know is that they knew something was up younger than age 16. So it's kind of some signs before I get into my story to look into. That I know I have is, number one, I would say is lack. I'm just gonna I think I spelled that wrong, but basically what I'm getting at is lack of eye contact. So, I still struggle with, looking at you directly in your, eyes. I'll kind of, turn and, face you, but I mainly, at the person's nose or, mouth area, then, look at them in their face, if that makes into their eyes. And I don't know why, but that's just one thing to look for is lack of eye contact. Another one, which I don't know if it's true, I need to do some more research on this because I don't really know, but I would say it's true for me. And I always spell this word wrong, but it doesn't matter, is sensory issues. So for me, that includes lights. So if a light is too bright, or there's too much light, so light, noise is a big one. I would say those are probably my two biggest ones. But certain smells can affect me. And then I've kind of got used to this, but it's supposed to say touch. But yes, touch can affect me. So this is what I know about my story. So right around, I think it was 14, 15, maybe younger, one of my grandmas, my dad's mom, got married. And she got married to her current husband, and they went to Hawaii for their honeymoon, right? And they come back, and this is just what I heard. I believe it was like right around then that they come back, and they bring this like, I think they were like handed, or all I know is somehow my parents made it sound like that somehow my grandparents, my grandma, brought back this pamphlet up. I think it was like 20 different reasons, or 20 signs your child may be autistic, right? And I don't know everything on this list, but my parents looked over this separately, and I think my mom found like 18 out of like 20, and I think my dad found like 15 out of 20 or something like that. It was like 1 or 2 difference, but anyhow. So they knew, okay, something is up, right, and that I need to get tested. And so they took me to the doctor. So here I am going to the doctor, la di la 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 la. There's me. My mom, oh, I'll make my mom pink. My mom takes me. La di la la la. My mom takes me. I honestly don't remember who took me to the doctor, but I'm just gonna say my mom took me, right? Wait, I don't remember anything. So we're at the doctor's office. It's supposed to be like a medical cross. And so we got medical cross building, right? Kind of looks like a church or a house. And a different door than what I usually do. So we go in. And mind you, before this, I was diagnosed with ADHD. For those of you who don't know, is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Then after that, I was diagnosed with ADD. And now my doctor was all like, so I was put on medicine, right? Because usually that involves taking meds. And my doctor was all like, okay. It wasn't my doctor's fault. My doctor was all like, I want to take you off of the medication that you're on and see if there's anything wrong with you. And run more tests. So we go to, and I know I'm missing a lot of details and I apologize. But, so we go and, take me off of the medicine, right? Well, somehow, somewhere, I don't really remember, the school, this is school, somehow, someway, found out that I was off my medicine and was all like, no. So they get CPS, which is Child Protective Services, involved. And, that's a, like, story for another day, but basically, CPS literally told my parents that I needed to be on the medication the school thought I needed, which was baloney. So anywho, after hearing that, we're like, okay, what are we gonna do, right? So, this is right around the time that and I say we, but my parents and I apologize, I don't really know how to draw airplanes, but we get on an airplane, right? We'll just say this is an airplane. And so we get on an airplane, and we go, I don't know which way, but we'll go this way, to a whole other state of Ohio. So we travel from Ohio by plane. And this was in 2008, right? And we lived out there until 2015. So it was a long time, right? Which that move was hard on me. Because another thing you need to know about autism that's been a big thing in my life lately is change. Changes to routine, changes in environment. All of that plays an impact on me. But anywho, we moved to Ohio, right? And I apologize, I'm not good with years. Math has never been my subject. And I don't know if that's an autistic thing or not, I just haven't been. And so, anywho, I'll just say around 2010, because that sounds about right, I go into, it had been right around that, because I was in high school from 2010 to 2014. And so, this was high school. And so, right around here, it might have even been middle school, I don't remember. But I think I was in high school, and I think sophomore year, they decided to reevaluate me, right? I think I was off my ADHD medicines, and my doctors decided to reevaluate me. So they evaluate me with something called ODD, which stands for Occupational Defiance Disorder. And if you look that up, back then, around like the 2010 timeline, I would say I fit this ODD, which is obsessive, not obsessive compulsive disorder, but occupational defiance disorder. Because I was being a teenager, like, I don't know if I really realized, nor if my parents really realized at that time, that, like, I was, like, I guess you can say misbehaving or whatnot. Because it's all, like, so anywho, I don't know if we realized it, right? So, or at least I didn't. I just was all like, I'm being a teen, like, it's like nothing, right? So, I don't know if I realized it, but I feel like I didn't realize that I had autism until after I was diagnosed with autism. And that might be tough to say, but, like I said, I was a teenager, I was being, defiant, not listening, your typical teenager self. So I think it was like 2012, senior year, we went from being diagnosed with ODD to finally, and again this was at age 16, being diagnosed with autism. So, yeah. And so I got diagnosed, and then I lived with it. I've always had it, we just didn't know. I've been living with it and being diagnosed with it from age 16 to present day, which is 30, almost, I'm not 61, 31. So age 16 to 31 is when I was diagnosed with it, and I'm still living with it and gonna be living with it for the rest of my life. What does that mean? Really not much. Like, it means, like I said, noise sensitivity, light sensitivity. I have my stims, which I don't know if I've done a video about. I think I did. My autistic stim, so you can go watch that video. So I do specific stims. And so yeah. So anyhow, I don't know what more about this to write, but yeah. And since I've been diagnosed at age 16, I've not been on any medication for my autism. I've thought about trying CBD, but I gotta wait until I talk with my doctor and see, and maybe psychiatrist, and see what they say about it. But anyhow, I will talk to you guys in my next video. Hopefully I can figure out my camera thing by then and get my other camera app back on my phone. But I hope you guys still liked this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. Click that notification button. And share my videos with your friends or family or anyone who you think may enjoy them. And let's see if we can hit 300 subscribers by the end of 2025. With that being said, we'll see you all tomorrow for my next veda video. Bye.